psychically.
Okay. We received several text messages from our
Former employer.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
That's
yes.
probably because I wouldn't say boss.
No, he was our former employer, mentor, enemy,
Best
friend.
Weatherman.
Oh yeah. Savior at times, and often, destroyer of our lives.
Yes, absolute wretched piece of shit.
Yeah,
Go
what
on.
a bad man. We love him and we hate him.
We love the bad man.
And he has said to us he has spent all night working a techno party.
We did pay our respects to him last night.
Of course,
we did
as
go
you
to the
have
techno
to.
party.
You must. He said, wish the subs were larger so I could sleep inside.
Yes.
And then he said, not enough scantily dressed ladies to keep me awake. And then
Yikes.
he sent a picture of some new human slave he has sleeping amongst the amps. Miguel. I never met Miguel. He didn't even show us Miguel last night when we were there.
No, and well,
He said only him and Ian were there.
Right.
Which then Cole was there, and apparently some boy named Miguel is
Who is sleeping in the truck.
in his truck. Well, we've all been Miguel. Good
we
luck,
all
my
have.
friend.
Sorry, Miguel, you're not getting paid.
He said Miguel working hard.
Oh my God.
Oh, and it's just a boy sleeping on the ground. Well, that's nice. I guess there weren't enough scantily dressed ladies to keep him awake either.
You should check with Ian if there are enough scantily clad women for him.
Yeah. I was thinking of responding, put Ian in some gear, you know?
Right. Make Ian. Let him dance for you, Jim.
Let him dance. Let him shake. Ian's got the moves. We all know it.
Ian is literally an angel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He saved this man's life, and now he's
a
trapped. Yeah. Yeah, the Gibbons. I mean, I'm glad he's back out there, back at it.
Oh, I mean, nature is healing.
Nature is healing.
It is returning.
He almost got taken by COVID, and it wasn't by COVID as in, like, the actual getting COVID, which he did immediately, as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what got him. It was the sadness of not, because he lives for shows.
He doesesn't live for money.
Like, you know how on like Fox News they've been like, you know, people are you're not thinking of the social side, and people are dying from not working, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Okay, that's what are you talking about is true for 99% of humans, but that one statement does apply.
It does apply
to
here.
Jim Gibbons.
He's got to move those speakers.
What else would you be doing? You might as well die.
Good tag. I'm Scott Murphy.
I'm Summer Krinsky.
And this is I Don't Heart Radio.
We'll get it one of these days. This could be your next favorite band.
Cool. I mean, we got to leave that in. That was Summer just drinking coffee during the tag, just thinking like, I think I can squeeze this in. I know.
I forgot that it bounced back to me. It was me, you, and then or you, me, and then
he's
you
gonna
said,
say I don't heart radio, and then it comes back to me, and I think that during that time, I think I got the moment. I think I've got the,
get that sip, get that drip.
Cool. So, you want to talk about a band?
Yeah, what band are you telling me about today?
All right, so we are getting into Ganser, and they are a band that has done everything correctly, which is great. I mean, they've got recordings that sound good.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a sound that is, fun. There's things to talk about, and they have populated all of their their Bandcamp page is like 5 essays worth of liner notes. They have given us everything.
Hell yeah.
We know we know what they're thinking. We know what they're eating this morning. We know every single person involved with the production process. They've done a very good job.
How long have they been doing things for?
2018 was when their first album came out.
Okay,
And
not that long.
the their second album, Just Look at That Sky, kind of, it got a lot of critical like thumbs ups, and that's what we were just listening to.
It sounded good.
Yeah.
Wait, so critical as in like
Vice,
oh,
Rolling
okay.
Stone, all of that. And they got like thumbs up, you're good,
Okay.
and they're still sitting at 2,000 monthly Spotify listeners, so they still come in at that like, why aren't you famous barometer
Yeah.
for the pod.
I mean, the music was good. Yeah, I liked
Yeah.
what you were showing me.
The music was good. They have an army of stans, which I think is really that's good, that's important.
Key.
I'm going through their Bandcamp merch list, and so many faces of support.
Look at those face. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So they've got this really cool ground game going, and I can just keep more faces of support. Oh, more faces of support.
Scott's referring to the tiny faces on Bandcamp of people that bought your record.
Which I think is the single best barometer of like, are you doing something good here? You know, this is direct fan engagement. So lots of ground game, internet game, not happening. So that's why we're talking
ground
about
game.
them.
Are you saying that they tour a lot?
I'm not seeing a lot of touring. They just did this like really good record. They're out of Chicago, which
Okay.
is where this can kind of happen. You can just be so cool that 500 people buy your record. And that is where they're at. They are very cool. 500 people have bought this record.
I mean, so are they like? Do they have are they out on a label or something? If they are getting all this critical acclaim.
They do have Felt. Is out of Los Angeles, and that is pushing them, and that is that's getting them this press. But that
The question remains: why are they not famous?
why are we not famous? It is a question, but they are doing everything correctly, and they have their very cultivated fan base. So sweet stuff.
So tell me more about them.
Cool. So it's a 4-piece out of Chicago, and I want you to take a guess. Drums sounded good on that record, right?
They sounded pretty good, yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll go in the other room. They sound really fucking good. So this was recorded by Brian Fox at Altered States Audio, and I did like a quick digging on Brian, and guess their first LinkedIn.
Wait, in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Albini?
It's Albini.
Yeah.
They were an intern for Albini for 7 months.
Okay. I feel like so many people are probably an intern for Albini. That's probably a common start off.
Yes.
I was an intern at Electric Lady Studios.
Yeah.
You can be an intern anywhere.
You could be an intern
sign
anywhere.
up.
Well, I mean, interning for Albini, it seems like people who do it, they generally like learn a very specific way of doing things,
right,
and it is like very apparent in the recording. It's got the very like live room drums, but they're tight, and then very very like mid-range forward guitar. It's aggressive while still being listenable. Classic Chicago sound.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that one song reminded me a little of Omen, just the intro.
Right.
And they're
a
Chicago band.
Chicago has a real thing going. So
the real thing going is that you can't book a venue without paying them $300. That's what Chicago has a real thing going about.
They do have a real thing happening right now. Chicago, get your shit together.
What happened to your cool DIY scene? Why is it lame now? Sorry. I'm not saying the bands are lame. I'm just saying the like objectively not being able to book a show without paying a down payment to a theoretical DIY venue that's not DIY if they're asking for a down payment. And yes, they might have nice speakers, but also just
We
don't
don't
call it
even know if they
DIY.
do.
That's what everyone kept going like, oh no, they have nice speakers. They have nice speakers. But like I work professionally doing sound at venues. I know the difference between just don't call it DIY then. You know? The point
You're
is
renting a space.
you're renting, yeah. Precisely.
Spicy. Spicy today.
It's just
No, it
it's an
sucks.
important distinction because at that point it's pay to play.
Right.
We can all dress it up as something else, but that's what it is.
I'm in high school. I'm in a metalcore band, and I need to sell these tickets.
Yep.
Grandma, please buy the tickets to Skull Crusher 5000. So, Ganser is a 4-piece, and it's got a dual front person going. And
A dual front person? Like they're
yeah, they
dueling?
trade. No, they're not dueling. They're not like fighting each other on the record.
Well, now I'm disappointed. Has anyone ever done that?
So, has anybody ever?
Had
Well,
dueling front people.
the closest thing that I could think of is Guns N' Roses' "Appetite for Destruction,"
Okay.
where Axl Rose like fucked one of his bandmates' girlfriends
Yeah.
on the record.
On the record.
On the record,
What do you mean?
he recorded it. It's on
Did
the
he
record.
sneak it in or
He snuck it in.
Oh my god, did he hate the other guy?
Well, I mean, it was the late 80s, hair metal. Everyone hated everybody, but also everyone was very rich.
Yeah.
So you kind of just go like, ah.
So he snuck in the sound of him fucking his bandmate's girlfriend?
Yes.
Did they keep playing?
Yeah, for a few years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate Trump calling Ted Cruz's wife ugly and then him just cucking.
And then, phone banking for
Yeah.
him. That is the best picture on one of the best pictures on the internet. It's just dejected, melting Ted Cruz a day after.
Wild. When you know you're a weasel, you just have to go full weasel. And he's really embraced that lifestyle.
I mean, he has embraced the lifestyle, and you're going to hate this, but you know how we're always talking about, like, how do we trend? Because we're, our side project of making TikToks.
Oh yeah, that's our main project. I don't know what you're talking about. All this music that we spend so much time on, the recording studio,
Is mostly a TikTok operation.
it's just that's to support the TikToks.
You're going to hate this, but no one is better at trending than Ted Cruz.
I believe it. But do you
There's
think-
actually it's there. There's like analysis on it, like all of his dumb shit and all of his like cult. The reason that he does all of his like culture grievance stuff isn't because he has morals or
yeah, he's a weasel.
He's a weasel. It's because he's looking at what's trending that day, and then he fucking hops on. He's the ultimate reply guy, and that is why Ted Cruz has the brand recognition that he does.
But like, okay, but then do you think it's like just happenstance that his like reply guy personality is putting him there, or you think it's like actually calculated? Because he does not strike me, and I don't mean this as like a dismissive whatever. He just truly doesn't strike me as like a very smart.
I think that it's literally calculated.
Yeah.
I do. I'm going to argue.
Do you think
and
liking the porn on 9/11 was calculated?
that might have been that could be the originator of all of this. He could have seen the power of it's like his villain origin story.
He was like,
He's like, "Oh, I need to harness the power of being like a bumbling idiot that trends.
I
Because if
guess.
I'm trending, I'm winning."
well, what is he winning?
I
Just
mean,
everyone knows that
power,
he's a-
money, votes, abortion
would
is
you
illegal.
right, man, yeah.
Like he's winning. Like that's the thing. Ted Cruz
That is the thing.
Well,
I think that's an important thing to think about him. And it's like they're literally winning. So maybe
so exactly.
Do
Ted
something
Cruz has
different.
passed more laws banning the ownership of dildos than guns.
he banned the ownership of
Yes.
dildos.
If in Texas, this is a Ted Cruz special. If you are, I think it's carrying over 6 dildos, you are officially a sex worker. And
I'm sorry. You can't own more than 6 dildos, but you can have infinity guns.
Yes. Yes, this is absolutely 100% a law.
Holy shit.
They have limited. They have capped the amount of dildos that you can have.
7's just too much.
7's too much. Now, and it's a thing. Like it fucked up like all of the like sex stores.
Yeah,
in
how do you be
Texas.
like a you
You have-
can't you have to have 6
They've got
at a
like
time.
dildo runners.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That is crazy. When did that happen? Where have I been?
I want to say I didn't research. We've taken this rabbit hole, so
Uh-huh.
I could just be like, some of these days are wrong, debate perverts. But like 2016,
Okay.
2017, like
Okay.
right around there, right around the time that Ted Cruz stopped his non-stop winning machine,
Uh-huh.
and that's, he's winning.
So how do you opposite that? Because like being enraged and being like that's clearly sucks and like memeing about it does not. It seems to only embolden.
It fuels
Like I
them.
feel like giving the attention. That's like I've really turned off my consumption of the news cycle because I feel like giving attention to some of these things is what allows them. But then it's also like giving no attention. I didn't even know that you can't have 7 dildos.
Yeah.
So like, is it just you have
The
to
more you
AOC?
know.
You have to more attention.
Well, AOC is the second best at Twitter. Yeah, and that's and
But is she winning anything?
yeah. I mean, you could argue that. Well, there's the problem that Democrats are generally very, very ineffective as a governing body to pass legislation. But some of the things that have happened in the last 2 years do lean in the AOC direction.
What's happened?
Minimum wage has gone up,
Did it?
kind of. In a few
Federally?
states. No,
No,
not federally.
that's what I'm like, it
No, no,
didn't-
no. No federal legislation
Yeah.
has passed. Nothing.
Has anything happened?
No.
Climate?
No.
Did something happen? I feel like there was an actual shutdown of the oil line from Canada or whatever.
Yeah. I guess that was people chaining themselves to it,
Yeah.
being like, we're very mad about this. So, attention.
But anyway.
No, it's
how do
mostly very
Anyway,
bad.
okay.
Ted Cruz is our daddy. He is winning. He's very good at the internet.
We must find a way to take attention from the Weasel Man and give it to what's this band?
Ganser.
Ganser.
So
Attention Ganser probably does not want.
sorry for forever immortalizing your connection with Ted Cruz.
How do we even go
I don't
there?
know.
I don't remember.
Stuff is happening. So, because they're dueling front people.
Axl Rose. Okay,
Axl
so
Rose.
they're dueling not in a, they're dueling in the sense of trading songs. It's really more of a
Yes.
camaraderie.
It's two front people
sharing.
It's a John and Paul situation. So Alicia Gaines and Nadia Garofalo, they are fronting the band, and Nadia is a props master in the film world.
Okay.
So they have an IMDb page.
Cool.
They make cool music videos for the band that are very
Really good.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're shot really in a really interesting way. The newest one for the record that comes out they're having some supply chain issues with their record. So
Oh yeah,
the
I mean our
release is a
vinyl
little,
took forever,
yeah,
but they're waiting to get their record
yeah,
physically before they release it.
yeah.
This is LP3.
This is the third LP.
Okay.
Nothing You Do Matters. And
Maybe that's referring to the crisis of the Weasel Man.
Yes, which is fucked. They actually have a really good quote. So the Nothing You Do Matters, the lead single off of it, Watching People, they shot it with LED projection mapping, which is instead of a green screen, it's an LED wall. And then it's more responsive and more immersive. Lucasfilm started doing it on Star Wars 2 years ago.
Wait, if it's projection mapping, is there a projector and LEDs or?
It's I am not enough of a film person.
Uh-huh.
I know that it's more responsive to a camera
Okay.
than a green screen. It's like it better mimics like real life textures and depth of field and stuff.
Rad.
So yeah, you're able to do green screen style stuff, but it
Uh-huh.
looks like you're in a real environment.
Okay.
And they did their lead video using this,
Uh-huh.
and they've got a whole thing about how it's in many ways actually more affordable. You have more options in post, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like a really slick looking video where they are just burying her alive.
Uh-huh.
Good video. We need to see more videos of bands like killing each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's your
or
platform
just
you're
like
running
general murder videos. I think
Uh-huh.
are really good.
Yeah, you have been collecting them because the first one,
Oh,
Christine Young.
Christine Young, it
Yeah.
has some murder vibes.
Uh-huh.
It's just like it's a good topic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. There's a really good Broken Social Scene video for like it's my sweetest kill. It's really fucking good because it's like a kind of like a sexy like R&B like white Canadian thing, indie rock.
Uh-huh.
But then it's a 5-minute video of this lady just killing a guy, and it's really good.
You got to put together the playlist.
Murder videos. We'll get that
Murder
out.
music videos.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
just, are we putting together just murder videos? What are we doing here?
Scott's Hall of Murder.
Yeah.
Come on in. So Ganser, they've got this film background, and it really informs their aesthetic and their not just in videos, but in how they are presenting themselves, and the music itself. I feel is very filmic. And then in one of their essays, they talk about how inspired by film they are, and transgressive filmmakers like David Lynch, and they're name dropping all of the very, very fun like super hip art world stuff.
Yeah,
that's
like who?
fun to
Like who else? I like Kieran.
So should I just go through
Yeah.
the name dropping?
Uh-huh. Name drop for me. I like to know who people are drawing upon. I think it's really, I think I'm almost more interested in knowing what your non-musical influences are often. Is that weird? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like what
No,
are your
I like to-
visual and like film and and theater and like what are your other influences that definitely still hit upon who you are? And I feel like that almost can say more than what your musical influences are. I don't know
Yes.
why I think that. I
Oh,
can't.
I mean, I'm 100% in agreement. I
Uh-huh.
think that music should reflect culture, and that when music just reflects music, you start to get further and further away from humanity. Mm-hmm. And then it just starts to be like recursive.
Yeah.
I'm just the music.
Right. I absorbed the music. I produced the music.
And then we start to wind up with like algorithmically generated Spotify, fresh and fit for 2022.
All right. So who are
All
they
right.
rocking?
So they met, Nadia and Alicia met in art school, and they both loved The Residents, which is a band, and like, of course. Have you ever gotten into The Residents?
No.
Oh, so they were like an art collective that turned into a band in the
Uh-huh.
70s. They wore like the eyeball hats with the top hats.
Eyeball hats with top hats. I don't
Yeah.
know them, but you remember how I had a whole thing where I was drawing eyeball men with top hats.
Oh, shit.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember
It was
that.
when I lived in Detroit. I had a whole eyeball men with top hats phase. I couldn't stop drawing them.
Oh, you got infected by The Residents.
I didn't know.
Psychically.
Yeah, I guess psychically.
Yeah, so
It just came and I couldn't stop. It was like one of those like for a while I just like it was infected. Like it was like why am I drawing? I didn't know why.
you're haunted by eyeball men.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so The Residents are a great touch point to like start your art rock band because they're kind of the first. They operated under pseudonyms. They released a couple of albums, and they like span wildly from rock to like absolutely out there electronica, some like very early music video, art film like hybrids. So great touchstone.
Uh-huh.
They and then John Waters, David Lynch, they get
The
the big
classics.
shout
The
out. Yeah.
classics.
And then they basically they're looking for that level of hands-on craftsmanship in everything that they do. And when you go through their stuff and their videos and the way that their merch, everything does feel incredibly planned out,
Yeah, like
in
cohesive.
that directorial sense. Their songs, this is fun. They never shy away from ugliness and confusion, and they have to. This is great. I can't summarize this. This is perfectly put.
Okay.
These are songs that never shy away from ugliness and confusion, that believe embracing the totality of the self sometimes means leaning into our dickish behavior. In the past, some listeners have had trouble reconciling non-male voices with the sorts of topics that Ganser writes about, but that comes to an end with Just Look at the Sky. So that's fun. And this does get into the some of the subplots of Ganser.
Okay.
So first off, the name Ganser.
Yeah.
Okay, it comes from a controversial psychiatric diagnosis.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So it was in the DSM-4, but it's not in the DSM-5.
Yeah,
So-
like being gay.
Right. Yeah. So things-
DSM-4, bad time.
bad time. It's got some stuff in it.
I'm sure Ted Cruz is all for bringing back the DSM-4.
Right.
If you have 8 dildos, you should definitely be in a mental institution.
Right. 7, you're a criminal. 8, you're insane. So, Ganser was a, early days psychologist operating in the late 1800s, when it was really fun, just do cocaine at it. Was a valid way of fixing people.
Give him a lobotomy.
Ah, yes.
That went for a while.
It went so long.
Till quite recently.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't do lobotomies.
They just ice pick you.
This should take care of that. So Ganser, basically it's also known as prison psychosis because he was doing all of his psychological experiments on prisoners.
Uh-huh.
That's where a lot of the body of work of all
Studies.
mental health
Yeah,
comes
right.
from. So fun stuff.
Yeah.
And it's basically a psychosis that is defined by the phenomena of approximate answering, is how they always talk about it, which is the phenomena in which you ask someone something and they tell you something that is nonsensical in reply, but you have every reason to believe that they are fully aware of what you asked them.
Wow. Okay. So, for breakfast today, what did you have?
I had a shoe.
And do you have any pets?
I have 5 couches and a recliner.
So this would be a Ganser diagnosis. Is this a common issue?
It is generally seen as uncommon. So
I feel like this is like a fringe. Like he almost was just like, I want my name
I want my name on a
on
fucked
something.
up
Which
brain.
I get it, man. Like, shoot your shot. But also, has this ever happened?
I'm just coming down with Krinsky-itis. Well, so here's, this is the controversy because it's prison psychosis.
Yeah.
And so there's the approximate answering. I'm giving crazy answers to your questions. But the second part of it is you believe that they know what's been asked. So
So that just sounds like
lying.
someone's fucking with you.
Yes. The term that they use clinically is we believe that they could just be malingering, which
I'm sorry, malingering.
yes, like as in malignant.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is that's the PhD way of saying you're being an asshole. So
I've known some malignant types in my life.
some malingerers.
Uh-huh.
And that this approximate answers could just be malingering because you're
some
just
days
doing.
I don't have my coffee in the morning and I malinger. What can I say? I'm only human.
You could have Ganser because this also these are prison experiments. So it's like an 1800s top hat, like, behold, tell me about your feelings.
Two eyes in a top hat.
Two eyes. He's going and trying to do experiments and data on prisoners, and then they start to like lie to him or fuck with him.
Right.
And he's like, "You have a mental disease.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry. You're so ill.
Right.
You have Ganser."
But they're just bored, probably.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's also like there are, what's the word? You can't stop lying. They're compulsive liars.
Right.
You
But
know?
this is something different.
This is different.
He's like, no, that's not this.
Wait, how is it different?
Because they're specifically fucking with him.
If you're a compulsive liar to Ganser,
You have Ganser.
you have Ganser.
Well-
which sounds sort of like cancer, which is fun.
That is fun. Cancer. So, I think that
Malignant Ganser.
I think
not
we're really
malignant.
getting into a bias problem with the researcher.
Yes.
In that it's actually inherently focused on the person making the diagnosis rather than the subject. They're not observing them going and doing it to like other prisoners, because why
Right.
would you do that? Why would you see how they're only seeing how they interact with authority? And if you're in prison and the authorities want to just like ask you questions all the time and you just lie to them or fuck with them, I don't think that you're a compulsive liar or even bad in any way.
Yeah.
I think that you're just responding to your environment,
Right. So
which is a late 1800s prison.
he got it in the DSM-4.
He got it all the way up to 4.
How was it? Just no one was doing stuff at the time. It was like 4 guys roaming around making claims.
Well, I mean, the DSM-4 lasted until like the late 70s.
oh boy.
So, I mean, it was in DSM 1, 2, 3, and 4 because the first one is published in, again, I didn't research the history of the DSM, but like, the 30s.
Okay, wait. So So it just recently got removed.
Yes.
It's been in all of them.
It's been in all of them except for the newest one. That's how far we've gotten.
Okay.
So it's fun.
Man, you used to be able to just do stuff. There were so many less people.
Yeah. You could just.
I have a whole theory because people will be like overpopulation, like boomers, like my parents will be like, they've been warning about overpopulation for so long and like clearly nothing's happened. It's fine. And I'm like, the population has doubled in like your lifetime of just America, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know about like as far as like obviously resources getting thin. It seems like that might be happening. But also, whatever. Say there's infinite resources, which there isn't. But at the very least, you can't have fun. You can't just go around, bop around having fun because there weren't that many guys. So
Right.
you could just be one of the guys.
You could just be Ganser.
You could just be Ganser, and you're like, Ganser is a thing. And they're like, well, we need more guys. So you're in. Which maybe that's an argument for more guys in general.
Right, because this did seem bad. This seemed not intellectually rigorous.
Right. Okay, so they named the band Ganser after
They named it
Ganser.
after this. And I think, good name.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that is informing, like a lot of, I mean, they've got the David Lynch, the Residents were named after a kind of fake psychiatric diagnosis. And then their branding all over is Nothing Matters, which That's fun.
In like an existentialism way?
Yeah, nihilism.
All right.
There's actually a quote Rolling Stone published, like, they made a cool video. There's an article just like, their video's cool. Please watch it. And people have not, which is a statement on the industry, I think. But there is a quote from Garofalo. It's at the end of the article. So she's talking about the title of the album, "Nothing You Do Matters."
Yeah.
Quote, "I think it's a really positive title, and hopefully people get that." And then it's almost like a cheerful nihilism. It's not the idea that it doesn't matter, so don't do it. It's like, it doesn't matter, so just do what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the conclusion you're supposed to come to. We were talking about just like making your own, like if you're
Oh, I was planting a seed last night.
really, oh, you're
Yes.
getting me thinking about it.
I was threading these together. I'm putting so much thought into these
Look at you
spider
go.
web. Look at me go. No, I was like very, very politely gaslighting you last night and thinking about the podcast.
I love some politely. It's all about how you go about it, you know? If
Right.
you just politely,
I'm not malingering you.
don't dare malinger me.
I just wanted to influence your thoughts and feelings. Just for 12 hours
Yeah.
to give us a little
little
spark.
pizzazz, a little ready, get me ready to go.
Yeah.
Rev me up. All right, so we were talking about
nihilism.
yeah, nihilism and that like it starts with killing the structures of
Well, that's situational nihilism.
okay.
I read all about the history of nihilism in the last 24 hours.
All right, teach me.
Uh,
Professor Ganser.
so the thing is that there is like a general, like, you can operate from a principle of nihilism. Like, I am a nihilist.
Yeah.
But then there's also the, throughout history, site-specific nihilisms, like in regard to religion or politics,
Okay.
where you can apply the lens of nihilism to any given like social occurrence. Like, I don't know about this God fella. I don't think it's real. So, like, you're engaging in religious nihilism at that point.
Okay.
I don't think that the two major political parties of the United States are, like, fundamentally different or want to make my life better. I'm engaging in political nihilism. So, but then there is the idea that nihilism is actually a step beyond that, in which you're looking at, you have to go, like, I don't think that these are real or good. They're made up. you know?
It's all made up.
Therefore, I can make something up.
Yeah, and I guess, and that's what we were talking about, is like a lot of people land, especially kids these days. No, I don't know. I think it's with a logical, even put a first principles reasoning brain. You can land on just nihilism, but you have to then reach that next step to make life interesting or worth living, is to then make your own structures of, well, if everything's made up, then why don't you make something up? Make up something better.
This is the next chapter of Nietzsche
Ganser?
that most people don't read.
Right.
There's the, like, you get all the way up to the, I'm a pathetic worm. I live in dirt.
Right.
Like, give me the poopy,
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time. But then he writes the next chapter, which is the will to power.
It's hard. That sounds bad.
It does sound
that
bad.
sounds Hitlery.
It does sound Hitlery.
Was it Hitlery?
It did. Like, there is the co-opting and
bummer.
that is the bummer. That's a big bummer.
Well, maybe that's why a lot of people stopped early.
So, but So it is will to power.
I mean, I guess it's
and
powerful to read the next chapter.
It is.
But maybe other people should read the next chapter.
Okay, other people should read the next chapter. The thing is that the will to power wasn't a direct prescription to Hitler.
Right,
All right.
he just
He wasn't like, sure,
ran
hope
with it.
you do Hitler stuff.
Right. It's like art was not, everyone who's failed in the art industry has not then done a Hitler.
They haven't gone full Hitler.
Yeah, there's a lot of minis running around, let me tell you.
So, but the will to power, strip aside the way that it sounds, is that after you've stripped away the falseness of society, that you are still alive, unfortunate as that may be. And if you
magical.
Unfortunate as it may be.
That's it.
We're still talking about late 1800s, like German existentialism. Okay? It's unfortunate. You're alive. You're here. But
what are we going to do about it?
You are alive.
And you're here.
You are going to be a huge fucking bummer if you just go, nothing matters, put me in the ground.
I know a lot of bummers.
We know it's so much bummering going around. And you're faced with the nihilist dilemma in which you must not be a bummer. You have to
sure would be a bummer if you just stayed a bummer.
And you need to live your life as if it were art and make something up. And that's the next what? That's the next step.
Yeah.
And so the thing is...
Well, and it's a powerful place to come from to realize that all structures, all of the societal structures that seem so, entrenched and so powerful, they're all made up. So you not only are able to make up your own thing could be bigger than them. Your own thing, like you're...
Right.
You have... Then I think that's what they're talking about with it being like a positive message as far as the album title.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really great to see this like in print because I'm like, that's exactly how I feel. We've watched the same movies and we think the same thing.
Yeah.
I've identified with this because same. I don't think that anything is real beyond, we made it up. But when we just stop at that and go, which I think is like your early 20s. I think that it's like a development cycle.
Your early
of
20s
the
is
human...
stopping at that?
Yeah. You kind of, or like a teenager.
You hit, well, no. I think that, because when you're a kid, even when you're a teenager, you look to adults as though they know stuff. And then as you hit your early 20s and people go, like, you're an adult now, you're like, are you kidding me? I don't know stuff. You don't know stuff. Holy shit, no one knows stuff.
Right. The realization that everyone is just like
I can have a kid.
Yeah.
I can have a dog. I'm not responsible. You're not responsible. You made me. Like, you don't know stuff. No one knows stuff. Even people that know stuff don't know that much stuff. We're just kind of like bopping around pretending.
Yeah.
And then that is, I think that's your early 20s. It's a panic. It's kind of like
there's panic, there's
sadness,
there's anxiety, and then eventually you just kind of hit that that malingering point.
You're malingering around. You're like, what matters?
Yeah. You're sitting, you're watching maybe 10 hours of Netflix, going like, this sucks.
Nurse Jackie again.
Oh, Nurse. The ultimate nihilist moment.
How are there so many seasons of
There's
it?
So many.
And then so many good shows there aren't. But then here we are watching Nurse Jackie.
Matters.
Nothing matters.
But you could make your own Nurse Jackie. You could put pen to paper.
You could make something better than Nurse Jackie.
You could.
Or you could not.
Or you could not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
You could. Your best output could be Nurse Jackie.
Right.
And you know what? This is where we get into like the moral relativism and stuff. There is no good and bad. Like,
well,
Nurse Jackie.
This is where we maybe led. This is where Hitler really took a liking to this part of the philosophy.
Nurse Jackie.
Okay.
We cannot apply a lens of objectivism to the art. It is
Okay.
neither good nor bad.
Reluctantly following.
The thing that mattered was that a team of people saw through to make Nurse Jackie day after day after day.
Rotten Tomatoes would disagree on the.
But that's the thing. That's a good and bad binary. You're being hegemonied.
I don't know if that's the word for that one.
Well, a hegemony is when you're presented with the false idea
Okay.
that there is two choices to a matter, good or bad.
Is that the definition of hegemony?
Yeah. So like when America does cultural hegemony, we put an embassy somewhere and we go like, America good, this guy bad, hegemony.
Okay.
That's what a hegemony is. So you're just pitting people up against like a rock and a hard place. In
So
the grand scheme.
Nurse Jackie.
Nurse Jackie, you're stuck in the Rotten Tomatoes hegemony.
And I would say though that like there is like a consensus opinion is how we form the narrative of reality, and consensus of opinion can form a good or bad as in like
You're about
the
to build a
shaping of
structure.
well, I'm saying the structure of what we all agree upon as reality.
Shed that notion.
Well, but I think that
free
you can-
yourself from your chains.
I think that you can form consensus reality through building your own structures.
Well, yeah, your own personal.
Your own personal, but I think that your own personal can affect others. Case in point, the greatest chaos magician ever, and worst human being in the world, but
L.
Donald
Ron
Trump.
Hubbard.
Oh no, it's going Donald Trump. L. Ron, I don't think is the worst human being. I think he's better. I don't know. Maybe not.
Ooh,
He's kind of
Trump cult or Scientology?
I go Scientology because he's kind of fun. Like I don't think that Donald Trump's actually that fun,
Well, they both involve boats.
which is fun.
That's fun.
But one's stuck on a boat.
Is that not fun?
No, that is fun. I think it's fun,
to be stuck on the boat.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's a whole every time he has to go to land, it's like, oh my god, they're gonna arrest me. Like you don't want to. You got to be careful what waters you're
Okay.
in.
If
You're
Trump were to wind up stuck on a boat because he's going to get arrested somewhere,
Okay.
then I'd be like,
Then you're choosing
I might be choosing
Over-
Orange Daddy.
Orange Daddy, but he doesn't have like the imagination of Elron. I feel like he's not creative like that.
No.
But what I was going to give him, the one thing I will give him is that he is amazing at like never admitting any, like never letting consensus reality like touch his personal reality.
Yeah.
And that is he's strangely, I mean, it helps when you have a lot of money to shape that, but but it has then made his reality the reality.
Yes.
Of everyone.
Oh,
The
that's will to
consensus-
power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So, but that's not to say that it has to be, that.
Right.
That specific,
That's
maybe
why I'm saying maybe it's
Hitler-esque.
important for us to also recognize that Nurse Jackie isn't a good show. You know what I mean? Right.
No.
It's a delicate. Okay.
No, I still think that you're going to be ultimately that will trap your mind. I think that it's limiting.
I think that if you made Nurse Jackie, you should believe that Nurse Jackie is a good show.
Yes.
So hard that you try to force your
Right.
reality
And then-
upon reality.
But the thing is
I
that-
should maybe look at all of the realities and decide that Nurse Jackie is a bad show.
Right, and I guess that you would have to be admitting that you're looking through a certain lens of reality to arrive at that conclusion, which also means that it's valid to look through the eyes of the creator and go, yeah, I see what you did here. That's relativism.
Right. Okay.
We're accepting it as like their own personal empire that they created, which
Totally.
is very impressive. I mean, they've got
So many
like,
seasons.
so many seasons.
Stars
The
that lady from
staffing,
Soprano.
You've got
She's rules.
You've got grips and gaffers and camera technicians and cinematographers and editors and all of that.
Writers.
You've created a small economy
Yeah,
around
right. Oh, yes, the local economy.
the local economy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've created like a political division, like within the organization, the hierarchy of this show.
Right.
It's lasted a decade.
Yeah, yeah.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah. Okay.
Regardless of
The output.
experience of watching it,
Right.
as my like personal
As a viewer.
relativistic
Right.
experience
Uh-huh.
of the art.
Uh-huh.
There is no good or bad. There is only the will to power. I'm gonna,
Oh God!
I'm gonna call this
we
will,
gotta
Ganser, will to power.
I know we gotta.
Album comes out sometime when the
Oh my
records
God.
arrive.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm convinced. One, the music is really good. You
Yes.
played the music for me. It's really very cool. And that the stuff you were playing for me, was that from the last?
So
full
yeah,
length?
that's from the. Let me get the
Also,
title correct.
kind of prolific. I mean, I'm just slow too, but 3 records in 4 years.
Yeah, that is good.
That's fast. That's fast for me. But maybe I think I'm learning through doing this podcast that I'm extra slow.
Yeah, you fucking slow, Summer.
Damn. I have
You're
to throw things out.
You're a
And
curator.
I'm a curator of
Of your own reality.
my own reality.
Yeah, I mean,
I am.
you're doing will to power.
I am. I hate that. Can we phrase the phrase?
Well, what do we want to rename will to power?
Yeah, let's rebrand.
Okay.
Xfinity to power.
Just email Fourth Reich in the subject line to idon'theartradiopod@gmail.com and
Oh my
tell us
God, do not do
your
that.
suggestion on the rebranding of the will to power concept.
It's just, how do you make it, positive, but also, Nurse Jackie
Strip
is
it.
not a good show.
We can't say that
And
for
neither
sure.
was, some of the other things that came out of this concept. But also, if you let them take it, if you let the people that seem to be really good at recognizing the power of will to power,
Yeah.
if you, as a listener of this podcast that
Right.
I fully think is good intentioned and has an amazing imagination that can
You're
create
so
a
good.
beautiful universe.
You're so beautiful.
If you let just that concept be co-opted by Ted Cruz liking porn on Twitter, then we've really
Fucked up.
fucked up.
I guess that is what we're getting into here. And like why I think that Ganser is they're creating their own empire, and like through their records, their videos, their merch, their pins, their multicolored records that are selling out and everything, they have created their own personal reality that you can buy into.
Yeah.
And that's really important. And there is when people shy away from the responsibility and the power of like recognizing that everything is bad and stripping it down, but when you don't take that next step to engage with reality through your own power,
Lens.
your own lens,
Imagination.
through your own imagination, you are allowing reality to be absolutely.
Well, you're allowing others to bend that recognition to their will, and that maybe we shouldn't. Maybe no one should trust others to do that. I mean, that's the Terrence McKenna quote that I have in a song in the first EP is create your own universe.
Create your own media.
Yeah. And he says, it's like, don't even listen to NPR, create your own. I mean, and he's not saying, he's like, don't go to he was like, and that's not to say don't actually like consume media.
Right.
But also the point is to create your own place, your own space. All right. You know a band that we should know because they've created something really interesting musically or universe wise.
Uh-huh.
If you know a band that has merged a black hole with another black hole and created a baby universe,
Whoa.
I don't know if that's even how it works. I'm just riffing. Then please email us at I don't heart radio pod at gmail.com. Subject line.
Subject line, whoops, I made a universe.
This has been I Don't Heart Radio.
Yeah, you're all very good and beautiful people. Thank you very much.
Mwah.